Hey, hello again. You might notice that this entry in my video blog has a different backdrop than usual. That's because I'm recording this one from my parents' house, where I was visiting for the day. Which is why this entry is late again. See, well, hadn't really been planning on this visit. My brother's in town, for the week, well, but he's going to be gone most of this week with my parents in San Diego, but he was here for the weekend, so I don't get to see him that often. He lives out of state. I came down to visit, but I had been misunderstanding. I hadn't really known about this in advance and hadn't planned on it, so another late blog entry. Hopefully the last one, because I really don't want to be late with these. Not that there's any particular compelling reason they have to be up on Saturdays, but still I'd like to stick to a schedule, so I feel bad that this is late. Anyway, perhaps the most significant bit of news for this week was the first thing that happened, chronologically, which is why I was actually kind of thinking of saving it for last, because it was the most significant, but I'll go chronologically and talk about it first. Although I'll have to talk about it somewhat vaguely, because it involves a project that I think they're still trying to keep somewhat under wraps, so I can't be too specific. But, well, last Sunday, I was at a meeting with the producers of a movie that I'm going to be in. There's actually a long story about this project that I think is worth telling, but I'll save it for another time. I'm sure this will come up again in later blog entries, so there'll be plenty of opportunity to tell it later. For now, the point is that when I first started with this project, it was going to be just, a small independent movie, copy and credit, that kind of thing. Since then, every time they've had a meeting with the cast and crew, it seems they've been raising money, making deals, increasing their ambitions. It's now up to a $7 million budget. It's going to get theatrical release, and not just in one theater like Faded Memories, I mean like wide theatrical release. It involves some name actors in cameo roles, like I would mention the names, but again, they're trying to keep it under wraps. I don't know how much I'm supposed to be telling. But this could be a big deal. In fact, I hesitate to say this because it's not something that I know that I really believe in. It sounds kind of cheesy, but what the hey. I mean, this could end up being my big break. It could end up being the main way that I finally get one of those don't. I mean, having a small but significant speaking role in a movie with wide theatrical release that'll be nice. Plus it could get me into SAG, potentially. I'm not clear on exactly what their SAG status is, but, well, anyway. It could be a very big thing. Plus, they're actually having me write a screenplay for a pilot. I pitched it a while back, and they're having me start on the writing now, and that could also be big, so that's big news there that I'm being very vague about. I promise I will say more about that as it goes more public and I have more I can say. In other news, well, actually, in literal news, I guess that was literal news too. I just mean in printed news, albeit not in any major outlet. Well, I've mentioned before that I teach science and math at a private school. I didn't write this on the board. My students did, I swear. I'm not sure what they were thinking. Well, the school newspaper came out this last week, and there was one article in it that kind of took me by surprise. This edition of the school newspaper contained an article on the new teachers at the school this year. Now, I'm technically not completely a new teacher. I started last year, but I started mid-semester, so I guess I'm new in the sense that this is the first year that I started the year teaching there. Anyway, let me read the last paragraph of the article in question. Mr. Jeffrey Nuttall teaches math and science for middle and high school. Mr. Nuttall has a bachelor's degree in mathematics and a master's degree in physics from USC. He is currently working on his PhD in physics as well. Mr. Nuttall is also a singer-songwriter and is putting together an album during his free time. He has also written musicals, some of which are incomplete. One musical, which he is hoping to finish, is titled One Little World, and is about aliens destroying the Earth. That article is mostly accurate as far as it goes, except for the fact that all my musicals are really incomplete. I haven't had much motivation to complete them because I have no idea what to do with them if I did, but now I'm a member of a theater company that may be putting one on if I finish it, so I do plan on trying to finish One Little World relatively soon, although it's still going to be probably about almost a year before I finish it. But anyway, the point is, I haven't really been open with the school administration about my extracurricular activities. Well, that's not entirely true. It does mention on my resume that I have experience as an actor. I mentioned that as, you know, so I can experience dealing with people and presenting things in an entertaining way, etc., but I haven't really been clear on the fact that I'm still doing it. The kids had found out, I guess it came up that I wrote songs. They've asked me to sing some of them, and also my online comic strip, but it's not something that I've been really talking about much, and especially to the administration, so this coming up in the student newspaper was a bit of a surprise. Fortunately none of the administration or the other teachers, especially my boss, the head of the science department, have math and science department, I should say, have commented to me about that, so I don't know whether they read the student newspaper or just don't care, but anyway, that secret is somewhat out. Although, as I said, one of the students it kind of was before anyway, so I guess it doesn't change much. It was just, like I said, a surprise. Although, now what you're seeing, I vaguely remembered, you know, a student interviewing me for this article a while back, but it's been a while, I'd totally forgotten, and yeah, so, anyway, moving on. Let me talk about the theme for this week. I know previous weeks haven't had a theme, but this week there is, because there's something I've decided on. So the theme for this week is priority. How did I manage to open the dictionary to exactly the right page like that? Magic. That and closing the dictionary and running the film backwards. Anyway, the word was actually originally going to be priorities, but that isn't in the dictionary in that form, so I changed it to priority, although it can kind of be both.
Priorities.
Yeah, that was kind of random. Sorry. Anyway, the thing is, I've been considering my priorities and realizing they need a bit of fine-tuning. See, I haven't been getting as much done the last few weeks as I would have liked. I haven't been doing my NaNoWriMo novel, but I did get some done on today, finally, a few thousand words, which isn't really enough, but still I might get it done. At least I made some progress, but but I've also been, you know, I wanted to get my music done, and I haven't. I've been trying to get my online comic strip back online. No progress. Nothing. I have other projects I haven't really been talking about. I have this online radio show thing I want to start, some game things. Anyway, a lot of things that I've been designating as kind of tied for top priority, and I think partially as a result of having so much to do, I've been getting none of them done. It's so daunting, it's hard to get started. So, I've decided, right now, my music is going to be top priority. Because I need to designate one thing, top priority, and work on that. I need to get this album done. It's something I've worked on for years, for actually literally almost 2 decades, and it's about well past time I get it done. I want to get it done within the next few weeks, so that, right now, is my #1 priority. Well, other than my job, of course, and that screenplay I was talking about earlier, and for the next week or a half or so, the NaNoWriMo novel, and yeah, you kind of see the problem here. Anyway, I think that'll be it for this week. So, next week, hopefully on Saturday, though next week, with Thanksgiving, I may be recording from my parents' house again. Or not, I'm not sure what the plans are, if it's when I'm staying there all weekend or just Thursday, but regardless, I will try to get stuff on Saturday next week. But, till then, have a good week, and I will see you next time. Are my eyes as shadowed on the tape as they look on this, on the preview? They look really shadowed. Yeah. Anyway, till next week.